Happy Muk-jji-bba Day!
Happy Muk-jji-bba Day!
Happy Muk-jji-bba Day!
And happy almost end of 2023, everyone.
Wow, thank God.
Yeah. It was a rough one.
Yes, it was a rough year, but it was a year.
Indeed it was.
And this is our last episode of season 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Bittersweet.
but it's the end for a new beginning.
So deep.
Poetic.
Yes.
Thanks.
I never realized that we never explained the theme of season 1 explicitly.
Oh.
True.
Yeah. So maybe we can kind of talk about that and then kind of do like a sneak peek of what our plans are for season 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, season 1, I think we didn't explicitly say it because it was kind of obvious from the graphics, and like at least like the first few episodes is very much focused on our childhood. And I think we wanted to just talk about that, and then going forward for the rest of the seasons, it's like we grow up, you know.
Yeah, we're progressing through life.
Yeah. So I guess the next one will be about middle school.
I guess so.
Middle and high school.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Who knows?
We shall see.
Yeah, wherever our minds and topics take us. But I guess as kind of wrapping up 2023, we wanted to just kind of reflect on the past year and in a Spotify Wrapped style, I guess. So I thought it'd be fun to first of all talk about what was your Spotify Wrapped?
Oh, yeah. Oh, mine's embarrassing. I mean, it's like not that embarrassing.
It's like not too unique. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think a lot of people share our top artists. New Jeans.
Yes.
We are bunnies.
Brittany and Judy.
Yes, yes. I heard they might have like a world tour soon.
They better.
So see you there.
Yeah, see you there.
True.
My number one artist was N-Hyphen.
I don't know which one's worse.
What do you mean?
Are you kidding me?
What do you mean? But my top song was OMG by New Jeans. So, you know, kind of double dipping, I guess.
Oh yeah, your top song was also
Ditto.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a banger.
It is.
The song had a chokehold on me, I guess.
So, I guess to continue along the lines of your top song / artists, do you guys have, I guess, a top restaurant or cafe that can be old or new that you enjoyed this year?
So I did go to. Okay, I think it's pronounced Cento.
Oh,
Cento.
you went?
I did go. Yeah. So I went last week, Friday. And we got the spicy pomodoro, the corn one. This like the I forgot what it's called, but it's like the corn pasta. And then we also tried their like new gnocchi pasta. They have like a new one. Yes, we got 3 pastas. Overkill. It was a little too much.
That's a lot of carbs.
He was really hungry, so we were like, okay, 3 but we finished everything.
Ooh,
That's
nice.
like everything.
Did you get dessert?
We didn't get the. I know the banana like
Yeah,
tiramisu
that
is
one's
like
famous.
the famous one, but I think maybe if we go back, we'll get that. But honestly, I think it's worth the experience. I would say try to make a reservation before you go, because we waited an hour, and like people were like, I think because it was like Friday night, a lot of people were kind of like gathered, like talking a lot.
So it was like a
Yeah.
long, everyone was there for a while.
Yeah, like hours. So yeah, I would say go on Open Table and make a reservation before going. But I think for a restaurant, honestly, it was a fun experience. We sat inside, like around like the kitchen, so
Ooh.
it was like fun to see them make the
it's an-
pastas.
I didn't know it was an open kitchen.
Yeah, I think it's technically. Yeah, there's still like the behind, but like actual like cooking and whatnot, like they do like right in front of you. So that was kind of fun. Cafe. Honestly, I have to say I went to Yeem's a lot this past year. So I would probably say Yeem's was my top. Yeah.
Solid.
What about you guys?
Man. I don't know about restaurant, but oh man, I need a minute.
Okay. I will go first then. I think I have two restaurant experiences, I guess, that were memorable this year. So one was Niku X. It's a restaurant in Intercontinental, and I went for like a team dinner. Obviously could not go on my own dime, but it was a course. I've never had like a course meal experience before, and so it was very cool. It was very, kind of not too over the top, but it was definitely very flashy and for the looks, like for the visual appeal too. But it was a fun experience, I would say. And the food was good too, but not like mind-blowingly good, I would say. It was still good, obviously, because it's expensive, so it has to be like a baseline good. And then the other one that was actually like really good was I went to Vegas this past summer with my family, and I think our second night, one of our dinners, I suggested that we go to this restaurant called, I always forget the name, it's either a Secret Pizza or like Secret Spot, something like that. But at church, like people were saying that that's a really good pizza spot at Vegas, and it's in the Cosmopolitan Hotel, but it's secret because it's not even in the directory at the hotel. So it's kind of like a if you know, you know type of place, and they don't even have a signage outside. It's
like a speakeasy.
Kind of, yeah. So it's literally between two restaurants, and there's not even a door or a signpost. It's just a narrow hallway that leads to the pizza spot, and there's not a lot of seating or anything, but my family and I, we just sat at just the bar type seating, and then we ordered a pizza, and it was so good.
Wait, what? Do you remember which pizza?
Yeah, I forget the exact name, but it was kind of like a white pizza, and then we added toppings. So we added like sausage and another type of meat, I think. But it was, they make it on the spot for you. So we ordered the entire whole pizza, so they made it on the spot, and we were also very hungry, so I think that played a part too. But we ordered like a can of beer to share, and we devoured it, and with the beer it was so good. And you know when food is piping hot and your mouth gets all burned, but we were burning our mouth and we were like, oh, it was so good. So I would say, and my dad was like, he was like, oh, that was so good. And like to see my brother and dad enjoy it a lot too, it felt good. I was like, yes, it was a good suggestion. But I'd say those two restaurants. And then cafe, I honestly don't really go to cafes unless it's to meet people, and so none are super memorable, and they're all kind of the same to me nowadays, and it's like same price, same style, so I wouldn't give any cafe my top pick.
Dang. I like cafes, you just step it up, I guess.
Yeah, so I was thinking about restaurants, and none here in LA were particularly memorable. I think I just like go to the same places all the time for like years now. So yeah, nothing really comes to mind. But I guess my New York trip, there was I think it's called Raku. Yeah, it's the Japanese udon place. That one was really good. It's very unique. I think it's like a little spicy, but it's not like, oh, it's so spicy. It's just like the perfect hit of spice. And if it's kind of gloomy outside, then it's just a vibe.
It is.
Even though I went when it was hot, but yeah. And then for cafe, honestly, Yeem's. I went there the most often. I went there a lot, like on the way to work, and because it was like on the way. And a lot of people we know work there, so I guess just to give them a shout out. Yeah. But yeah, it is very small though.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't like stay there for like to study or something, but just their drinks are solid. Yeah.
Yes, what is it, Vienna Black? I love their Vienna.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
What about top like drama slash shows slash movies?
Oh, I need to pull up my list of, because I keep a list of
Oh, yeah,
movies
yeah.
and dramas I watch. So let me jog my memory.
I can also go first.
Oh, yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys are thinking. Hidden Love.
I forgot.
So good.
Well, can you explain what Hidden Love is?
Yes.
I can. So, I don't actually watch a lot of stuff in general, but this drama popped up just on my Instagram feed explore page. But it's a Chinese drama, and I normally don't watch Chinese dramas, but this one, it seemed intriguing. And so I gave it a watch. Basically, the context is this girl has a crush on her older brother's friend for a long time. They reconnect when she's in college, and yeah, it's just their relationship unfolding. But it was just so good. Like, it was such a feels good. Like,
Yeah.
normally I feel like if Korean dramas had the tropes and the things that they did in the drama, it would be very cringe, but for some reason it did not feel cringe in this drama, and it was so fun to watch. And I also introduced it to you guys and Lena, and I think you guys enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I binge watched it.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it was really good.
It was so good.
It's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah, so highly recommend. I think it's still on Netflix, so yeah.
Dang. Do you?
What about movie?
Oh,
A
yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of movies, I feel like. Like, I think the only movie I watched in theaters this year was Puss in Boots.
What
And
about Oppenheimer and Barbie?
oh my gosh. Wow, I'm terrible.
This past year. Isn't
Oh.
That does feel like
Oh my gosh.
a year ago.
Forever
I
ago.
totally forgot. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, you're right. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? Yeah, I think Oppenheimer is probably like the longest movie I've ever watched in my
Yes.
life. I guess out of the ones that I watched, Oppenheimer, I low-key couldn't really understand every single word that was spoken, so I guess Barbie was the most entertaining. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I think that's all I can think of right now.
Yeah, I think for me, for movies, I enjoyed Oppenheimer more than Barbie. Because even though it was like so long, there wasn't like a point where I was bored.
Yeah.
I was just very entertained all throughout. So I think that just shows how well made it was. And I also, this wasn't in theaters, it's an old movie, but Pride and Prejudice.
Oh my gosh, I watched it before
Yeah.
it left Netflix again.
Dang.
It's so good.
so good.
Mr. Darcy.
Oh, Mr. Darth. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good
it's
one.
so, it's a classic, but yeah. I don't think I read the book, so I should read the book.
Yeah, I've never read either.
Yeah, but I wanted to give that one a shout out. And for dramas, I liked Moving. Moving, yeah. You guys should.
I need to watch it.
It's like a little gory, but
I've watched clips here and there of like the highlights or cute moments.
I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It reminded me of The Umbrella Academy, but better.
Oh.
Yeah, and sometimes like the CGI, it's like it's kind of funny, but
Yeah.
I mean, just you have to ignore that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the story itself and the lesson that it was trying to teach, it was good. Yeah, and there are a lot of famous actors in there too.
Yeah.
So,
The casting was.
yeah,
very good.
star cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like it was underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Movie? Honestly, I feel like I watched a lot of movies this past year. Because, like, my family just watches a lot of movies. But, That's hard. I think just because, like, Oppenheimer and Barbie came out, I think Oppenheimer was a lot of fun. And just like you said, I didn't understand a lot of the stuff they were talking about. But I think... it was interesting to see like when like the water droplets and like how that represents like a lot, and I don't know, just like this, like the what
Symbolism?
yeah. Symbolism, yeah. I think that was really fun to like realize after the movie as well. So I would say Oppenheimer was probably top movie. Top drama, I just had one in mind. Oh, I watched this one recently, but I think it's called Daily Dose of Sunshine with Park Bo-young. I feel like Korea just, like, even to this day, they don't talk about like mental health or like mental illnesses like enough. And so I feel like this drama really brings to the light just like the reality of just, I think, human beings in like general, and how, yeah, I don't know, it's just really good. I think you guys should like definitely give it a watch if you haven't. Yeah, but I think it's like, it's just good, I think, for us to watch. Like, it's just like a good drama, like, oh, like it was, I don't know, like meaningful. But for Korea, I feel like it could really be a big eye opener, like for Koreans. So I feel like that's why I enjoyed it much more. Yeah.
Because that drama, I haven't finished it, but it's just like, it's so real. That could happen to any one of us and anyone around us. And so I think that was the appeal of it, just how real.
I agree. And I think usually in how mental illness is portrayed in Korean media, it's usually like something really tragic happens and then they're like sick.
Right.
But for this drama, it wasn't necessarily that. It was like something like a third party person could think it's very small and not a big deal, but that's not the point. So yeah, it's just very realistic. And
Yeah. I would like to change my movie choice. I realized I watched a movie at home. I wasn't intending to watch it with my mom. I think it was just my mom and me at home one Saturday. And she likes to watch a lot of dramas and movies and stuff. And so she just randomly turned on Top Gun Maverick, the newest one. And I didn't watch it in the theaters. And I have I didn't really have any interest. I heard it was really good, so I was, but not enough to go out and watch it. But it was on and I had nothing else to do, so I was just watching it. And then as soon as I was like, oh my god, like, and then my mom fell asleep, but I was like, oh my god, like,
so
I like kept watching it. And then after I watched that movie, anytime I saw a plane, I was like, so I don't know if it's still on Amazon Prime, but if it is, you should watch it if you haven't. It was really good. I never watched the old one, but I want
don't
to
think I did
after watching this. But that is my top movie pick, I think.
solid
That's a good
choice.
one. My dad watched it like 5 times. I remember. Okay, no more.
That's funny. So now that we've kind of gone through top things, I guess another thing I wanted to ask you guys is, what was something new you guys tried this year? It could be in any realm.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is pickleball. Because I don't think I'm the type to like go out and like grab a paddle, hit some balls. Like, I'm just not. Like, I never played. Like, the one time I played tennis was like, no, I played tennis twice. No, 3 times. Okay, but like, I would never go out by myself. It was always like, through friends, you know? And so I think pickleball is like something very new.
True.
So that was fun.
True.
Yeah. I feel like Brittany did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think this year I did a lot of new things, but I think it's because I initiated it for myself. Like, I was seeking out new things to do. And I guess like I traveled alone technically kind of for the first time. I guess pickleball. I watched a movie by myself in the theaters. It wasn't the first time I did it, but it was the first time in a while. I ate in a restaurant by myself recently. I'd like to do that again. And then I took my first ballet lesson on Thursday.
Wow.
And I realized I never did like a workout class in my life. And so that was fun. I do want to continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see the appeal of workout classes though?
I do.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just, you're with like people you've never met and you don't need to like talk to them.
Right.
But everyone's like doing the same
Same thing,
motions
yeah.
and there's that sort of unity
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
feels kind of, it's a good feeling.
It is.
Yeah. And afterwards you're like, oh wow, I really exercised.
You feel
Yeah.
accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I was like driving back home, my right leg, because I'm like driving, right?
Yeah.
It's like shaking. I was like, oh my god, why is my leg shaking?
Oh my goodness. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh wow.
Been intense.
Yeah, but you work a lot of like this hokkunyu, like the little muscles
Yeah.
with those kinds of
And the butt.
movements. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the teacher was like, oh, squeeze your butt, squeeze your butt. I was like, okay.
That's funny.
Wait, what about pottery?
Oh yeah,
Was that
yeah.
your first time?
It
or-
was, yeah. Wow, that was a while ago. Yeah, I took like a month of pottery classes, and I think my personality is I'm like impatient, and for pottery, I'm sure like some people get it the first time, but I just had such a hard time getting it.
Oh.
And I think I grew frustrated and I was like, screw this. But I think if I did give myself more time, then it's like anyone can kind of get the basics down. But I just kind of gave up in the middle, which I regret doing, but it's expensive too. So yeah, maybe I think I would enjoy not the wheel, but the molding one more, just because that one's more like you don't need that much strength. So yeah, maybe I'll try that out.
They do sell like at craft stores.
Oh, true.
I don't know what they're called, air
Yeah.
clay, something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah. That's like a good alternative, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. I don't think I did too many new things this year. I mean, I traveled to Chicago for the first time, and it was the first time I traveled with like my high school friends too. So that was new, and I guess pickleball too is new. But I think another aspect, not just pickleball, the sport itself, but I think just going by myself to a new place like that and like talking to new people there. And last Saturday I went by myself, and there was actually not that many people, but I just joined a court of a bit older people, and they were so nice. And then I saw them again yesterday, and they greeted me so warmly and so friendly in a very friendly way. And like I started to have conversations with them and kind of get to know them. And so I think just learning to have conversations with any type of people, I'm learning through pickleball. It's just like so cheesy, but that's also been pretty fun. But I'd say those are the only things that come to mind.
This podcast.
Oh,
is,
true. Of course. Very true.
I did feel like I would never, like, I was always like, oh, should I vlog? Like, should I do this? Like, you know, and that's like, I respect YouTubers because they're really, in some, like, vloggers specifically, because they share so much of their life online. And that can be really scary, I feel like, you know? And I never thought, like, I would come on to a podcast or like actually start something and like share my life on it, kind of. So it does feel very interesting for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you guys feel?
I have been very much enjoying it. I feel like it's fun when people actually listen and actually like, comment on certain things that we talk about or say they're actually enjoying it. And I'm like, oh, it feels like fulfilling in a sense in that way, because it's fulfilling because first of all, like we get to see each other every week through this and just talk about random stuff. But then also when other people are actually listening and giving feedback or positive comments, it's like, oh, people are enjoying what we're doing. And so that feels good too.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like because our conversations are very more on the positive side. I feel like, or I like to think that we're giving like a little bit of joy and like our small audience. Yeah, and I think that's very meaningful. And yeah, I very much enjoy it. And it's like a creative outlet that we just like do or have. Yeah. So
I guess another fun thing to ponder would be, is there something that you guys did or experienced this year that you would want to change or improve upon for next year?
I was sharing this with you kind of last week when we were talking about our New Year's resolutions from this past year. And one of my New Year's resolutions was to be more expressive. And I think like at least I was self-aware that I needed to be more expressive, but I don't think I really put it into practice as much as I had wanted to. And that like, it's like in, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know, but it's, I'm like thinking of a very specific instance, but I don't think I should share it here. But yeah, I think in the end, if you have something to say, then obviously don't just say whatever you want to say all the time. But I think you're doing yourself an injustice if you hold back at times. And I think I've learned that this year more than the past years. And it's something I do want to work on in the upcoming year and future years. So yeah. Sorry, that's a little broad and not specific, but
no, it's good.
It is,
good.
yeah.
I feel like this is something I have been trying to work on a little bit more since last year. But I think when I'm like with my family or just like in the house, I can be like really stubborn, or I just like am really like firm with like what I say and like what I do. But I think when it comes to like people outside of my family, it's harder to do that for some reason. I think it's like honestly like a bit of people pleasing that I have. I don't know like why I do it and like how it started. I've definitely been like reflecting on that since last year. And I think there are a lot of instances and like a lot of reasons as to why I did kind of become more of like a people pleaser. But I think I just want to become more like stern and more confident in like the things I say and like the things I do, and like the decisions that I make. Because I think oftentimes I like look back at things and I'm like, oh, like why did I say that? Or like, oh, why did I do that? And I think as much as like it's okay to reflect and think and whatnot, I think it can, I'm pretty sure like overthinkers and like others can relate, but it's just like it can become really stressful for you like yourself when you just like constantly like think about the things you did or the things you said, and I just feel like it's not always good to dwell on it. So just to become a little bit more like stern, a little less passive aggressive, I feel like that's something I want to continue working on. Yeah.
Dang. True. Me too, honestly, in all of the above.
I relate to that.
For me, I think I do want to work on the things that you guys have talked about too. But I guess to talk about something different, I think work has been like very consuming for me as time has been going, like this past year, first year of working, now going into my second year, and like busy season is coming up, and I'm like trying to think what can I possibly do to make it a little bit better than last year, since I've experienced it once before. And kind of like sidetrack from this, I thought that once I was done studying that, I have all the time in the world, and I'm gonna fill it with so many meaningful things. But it's crazy how quickly humans can just revert back to their old ways, because I am like where I am before I started studying. You know, I thought I would be a changed person, like I'll be so productive after work because I've instilled it in my body to study before and after work. But it's like, no, but I'm literally, my eyes are shutting at 7:30 p.m. and I physically can barely like stay awake throughout the day, and it's just so bad. And it's very homue, like I don't know the English word for it. It's just very like, oh, like sad. Why am I like this, kind of? And I think I've had moments where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like my whole days are simply consumed with work. What can I do to bring life into my days? And I'm still unsure as to how to answer that question, but I think that's something that I want to figure out throughout the year, and especially with busy season when my free time is so limited during the week, and honestly even on weekends during that time period, it's like, oh, how do I parse out my time and not just, you know, like zone out and go on my phone, but how can I use even like 10 minutes to do something that's nourishing for myself? So I'm trying to figure that out. And also just like balancing not to consume my mind space with just work and stress from work. That is what I'm working on. Or what I would like to work on.
Work-life balance.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Have you thought about like the first like small step, like tangible thing that you can do to
I think the biggest thing is I just go on my phone at night, but I always regret it, and it's like that added nothing to my life, that added nothing to my health. So before, I would practice or try to practice self-control by putting the time limit, the app time limit, but I just, you know, you can just ignore it indefinitely. Which is bad. It defeats the whole purpose of it. But yeah, I just need to like put my phone down and just like stretch or like read or things like that. So I would say that's probably the easiest thing for me to do. And even incorporating like 20 minutes of workout is better than zero. Like 10 minutes of working out is better than zero. But for me, it's like, oh, 10, I cannot do it. Like if I can't do 30 minutes, it's a bust, you know? I think trying to eradicate that kind of mindset would be the first step. Yeah.
Hope it goes okay.
Thanks,
Hope
guys.
it gets only better from here.
I hope so.
I guess I just want to ask, as we're kind of reaching like the middle towards the end of this episode, do you guys have okay, let's say 3 New Year's resolutions for 2024? 3.
Ooh. It's always hard. I feel like I always have similar things every year.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they never really get accomplished like fully or satisfactory level.
Yeah.
You know, I've realized that even thinking of your New Year's resolutions, that in itself is a practice. Like you can improve on making better, not better, but just like more realistic and achievable resolutions.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when I was younger, I was like, they're so broad.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just okay.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that? But yeah, as I'm like doing it more often, it's like, oh yeah, like, I can do that.
But then there's also, I guess, not haters, but they're like, why do you need New Year's to set resolutions?
You know what? It's just a mindset thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, 3's kind of hard.
I feel like I have so many.
Me
I don't know
too.
which one to choose.
Why don't you just list out the ones that you have in your mind so far?
Yeah. Or like broad categories even.
Yeah.
I guess to start off kind of light, I want to go to more concerts.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
And I just want to go to concerts I wouldn't normally go to, like just smaller artists that I'm not familiar with, but just like go for
the vibes.
the vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to go to one by myself.
Oh,
Yeah. I feel like that's going to be like such a challenge, but
A bit dangerous.
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't even think of that that
reality.
either.
Like,
Oh man.
I feel like a smaller artist though.
yeah, just
'Cause
like a
the-
smaller
yeah.
artist at like a
like a bar, because those people have, you know, like a smaller
Yeah, yeah,
venue, and so
because I remember in high school I went to the Zion T
Oh.
concert at the LA Live, but it was like a smaller venue. It was really small and intimate, and I like that more than like big
Yeah.
concerts. So I think that's what I want to go to. But yeah, TBD. Yeah, I guess just to give like a number for myself, maybe at least 3.
that's a good amount.
Yeah, I think 3 over 3 is a little pushing it. So yeah, 3 concerts at least this year. Yeah, so that's one that I thought of. So when I ate by myself at a restaurant, it was lunchtime and it was like an off hour sort of thing. So there weren't too many people in the restaurant, so it wasn't much of a challenge. So I want to go during peak dinner hours. At like a fancier restaurant.
Yeah.
And I just like bring a book with me and pretend I'm there
For the vibes.
for the like I chose to be there, you know, by myself. Yeah, so that's another thing I want to do. Yeah, and I guess the third thing is to just like continue my hobbies rather than jumping from this to that. I want to really like focus on 1 or 2 hobbies and really take my time in improving upon my like skills that I learned from it. But I'm like really indecisive when it comes to these things, which is like the root problem. But I want to fix that this year. Yeah.
solid. Edgy, do you have your list?
I think one thing came to mind right now. So I finished taking my CPA exams, but that does not mean I'm licensed. So I should probably do that next year. But that in itself is actually a really long process too. So there's another ethics exam I actually have to take. And when I talk to people at work, they're like, yeah, I took like a 9-month break. It took me like 9 months to get myself to do it after passing all like the other exams, which is very valid. And so, but my goal is, to take that and like, but you know how those kinds of applications always take a really long time. Like they're so slow. If you have questions, they don't get back to you fast enough. And everyone says it's a headache to apply, like actually send in your application, send in your information. So that's like not even a resolution. It's just like I have to do it, or I should do it sooner than later. So that's one thing. Another thing I realized, I want to just like be in a learning mode, like whatever it may be, I want to be learning something. So for example, I don't know, like I know I talked about the whole stretching and that kind of stuff, but I feel like when I took positive neuroscience or some class like that in my last quarter or in last year of college, it was very interesting. Like I took it for fun, but it talked about just well-being and the actual science behind it, and I really enjoyed that because it talked about, you know, like your diet and like movement and things like that, which I always, and habits, which I'm very interested in and I'm a big proponent of. And so just random area topics like that, whether it be continuing to learn about like that area of neuroscience. I mean, obviously I know nothing about science, but it's always very interesting to learn about something very different. And yeah, just being, I know this was one of your resolutions like this past year, but just being informed about, you know, current events and things like that, I would say is another one. My third one, I think I want to travel more, but that's really broad. So I guess more specifically, like I want to make happen, like going to Hawaii, taking my family to Hawaii this summer, like going to Korea, because I already put in my request for PTO like next year. And so I'm like, okay, like I actually have to fill it because I put in that request. I want to visit like SF too during the year because I have like a high school friend who lives there. My brother's there, I want to see the state of his apartment. Actually, I don't know if I don't know if I want to see it, but I am very curious. So I want to see that. Like I want to visit Lena, and so I would say those are, I guess, my top 3 things, at least for now.
Dang. I low-key can't think of a third one. Okay, but first one I feel like I say every year, but I think it's like more than just exercising. It's like being healthy. So like my diet, maybe even like continue taking supplements. I actually signed up to be a founding member at like our new Torrance Club Pilates location.
Oh my gosh!
That's opening up in February.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, what does that mean? Like
So-
founding member.
It's like basically like before they open, you send in like your like an inquiry saying that you're interested in like joining that location, and then they reached out to me and they're like, oh, like you would become a founding member then, and like you get a discount on like your like monthly like plan or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's like 8 classes or unlimited classes, and if I let's say like I start with 8 classes and it's at this discounted price, if I ever want to switch to unlimited, I still get it at that unlimited
That's
discounted
nice.
price. Yeah, and every time I like refer a friend, I think I get $100, they get $100.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like they have like the owner of the Torrance location has a lot of other locations within California, so I can go to like any location I want and like, take a class there.
Nice.
I think as long as I sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna be doing Pilates next
That's
year.
so cool.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. And then what was my second one? I think so I have a very small social battery now. And I took the Myers-Briggs again recently because I was just like curious. I'm still an INFJ, but I'm now like 66% introverted, which is still not like huge, but it's still a little bit more than I was before. I don't know if that's like accurate, to be honest, because I do love like being home, being by myself, all that. So as much as I think time to myself is great, I think I just want to spend more time with like friends, like meet new people, make new friends, and just kind of like challenge myself in that area. Because I think I am someone who I like often find myself being just very comfortable with where I am at. And I feel like when I'm comfortable, there's not a lot of room to grow. So yeah, I definitely don't feel comfortable around new people. So I think that's something I want to practice. Yeah, and I guess the third one, as I'm talking about like not being comfortable and like learning, I guess it's like kind of similar to Edgy. It's like I just want to be in a growth/learning mindset space. I think something I have been like kind of like praying about, or like kind of just like wanting more, is like more knowledge and just more wisdom. And so just to be in a capacity where I can like learn more and expand my knowledge, whatever that's about, just like everything, life, whatever. Yeah.
Nice.
We're such goal-oriented girls.
Love that for us.
Yeah, I guess as we're wrapping up this episode, don't worry, we'll be back.
To our like 10 listeners, we'll be back.
We'll be back. Don't worry. We're just taking a little break because breaks are well needed.
Yes, they are. For anyone who needs to catch up on episodes, this is your time to do
it.
so.
Binge listen, binge watch. Yeah. Let us know what your favorite episode was. Yeah.
And we also want to thank everyone who has been with us the past several months as we've started. We really, really, really do appreciate you all. And we feel like you're also part of our Muk-jji-bba fam, I guess, when we talk about the episodes, when we see you guys. So we really appreciate you guys.
Yeah. And let us know your New Year's resolutions, because I think it'd be just fun to like share, to know since we shared.
Yeah.
You guys should share too.
No pressure.
No pressure. Just like 2 or 3 things. Or it could be 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess what to expect from us going forward is we'll be back sometime early 2024 for sure. And hopefully we'll have like a little like new graphics, stuff like that. Just like, you know, to commemorate the new season.
I don't know if I want to make a graphic out of my middle school self though.
No, well, we can just use the ones we took
Okay.
at
Well,
the...
we'll see.
Yeah.
okay.
We shall see. Nothing
Yeah.
has been decided
Yeah.
yet. But yes, we're excited. And I hope you are too.
Yes, let us know if you guys have anything you guys want to see from us. Like, we are very
Yeah.
open to suggestions, and I think it'd be fun if it's quote unquote collaborative in that way, I guess.
Yeah.
Like episode ideas, like it doesn't necessarily have to even be like about that specific life stage or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like anything you guys would like us to talk about, I think it would be fun
Yeah.
to hear your ideas.
It does not have to be confined to the quote
Yeah,
unquote
just
theme.
whatever you
Yeah.
want to hear from us, please let us know.
Yep.
Yeah. But until then,
Happy New Year.
happy 2024.
Happy 2024.
And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.